People lose their minds.
There's nothing harder to do. And cardio is easy, training's easy, dieting's easy. Leveling off a tablespoon of peanut butter is not easy.
Or weighing out 15 grams and seeing how small it looks.
Oh, yeah. Well, you learn what a serving size really is when you're in prep.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome to It's Just Bodybuilding, pseudo live from the Arnold, kind of live from the 2025 Arnold Sports Expo, of course. Myself, Big Ron Partlow, here with Dusty Hanshaw, our producer, Scott McNally. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, and
ring the bell.
And today we got a special guest, an old friend of all hardcore bodybuilders, whether you've met him or not. He's a friend, Justin Treponin Harris, here on the podcast. We're really happy to have you, buddy.
I'm pumped to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Now you've got. Let's get right to it. I'm not going to talk about all the stuff people don't care about yet. We'll do that after. Brandon Curry.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What happened? Did he give you a phone call or a text message or an Instagram DM or?
Instagram, and I never check Instagram DMs.
You left Brandon Curry hanging.
Well, now I'm paranoid someone else has done that. Samson was in my DMs, and I was like,
Pass.
That's funny. So, man, we're all very excited. Now, I will admit, I may have just seen some pictures, and they're probably top secret.
Yeah.
But I could say I'm very excited.
Same, very.
Now, what was the process like? How far out did you start with Brandon, and what did you think when he contacted you?
Oh man, I was so pumped because I've been a huge fan. When he turned pro, was it 09?
Yeah, something like that.
Closer, yeah, 09. Because I left the sport right before he came in, and so I was like, when he was on the rise was right when I was a peak fan of the sport. Like super pumped that he contacted me. He said he wanted to contact me last year. It's hard to switch the coaches, especially at that level, because it's a big risk. But he wanted to stay in the U.S. He's got a family. His wife used to compete. They've been together a long time. He's got kids. His son's a really good football player. He's a freshman in high school. He's already got multiple D1 offers for football. Yeah. And, as a family man, I understood he wanted to be around. So, I really feel for him because it's a big stretch because, if anything goes wrong, all he's going to hear is that he should have stayed overseas,
Right.
But, he said he's wanted to work for me a while, and we just clicked immediately. It's always like that, like you think the pros or the top guys are going to be hard, like no matter what you throw at him. And I was torturing him for a while, and he never balked or never said anything. Finally, when I was at his room here, I'm kind of talking to him about it, and he kind of said, like, I've never gone that low before. And I was like, well, I kept grinding you down, and you acted like it was butter, so we just kept pushing him. But I think this is, we'll see. I'm very happy right now, though.
I'm very happy right now, and I had absolutely nothing to do with it. Because Brandon Curry is one of those guys. We all love the guy. He's stepped out of his way to come on our little show as a Mr. Olympia, he's one of those dudes, and just to see him looking so great is I don't know. I'm just super stoked about it.
Yeah. What was the hardest part of working with Brandon?
Getting him flat. And when I was in his room, he kept talking about how low I was taking him. He's like, were you trying to flatten me out? And I was like, yeah. He goes, it doesn't happen. And it didn't. Yeah. But you just have to. It's the thing I've always liked about bodybuilding. Obviously, genetics is king, obviously, just like any sport. But bodybuilding is the one sport where you really get what you give, and so hard work pays off. Yeah. And there's a point you can overwork and do too much, but that's very difficult. And for him, I hope it pays off just because I know how hard he worked. And food-wise and cardio, he had never gone that low and this high. And I think we filled him back out enough from that. But it sounds like this is the hardest he's worked. And so win, lose, or draw, for me, that generally, it's not always a one-to-one correlation, but generally you work hard and it pays off, and so I hope it does for him.
Was there an aspect of homework that you gave him at any point where you said he had to watch the entire Project Super Heavyweight from end to end?
I made him buy it 5 times. I said it's a single watch DVD.
Yeah.
No, he's he's done so many shows by this point. It's it's old hat, so he knows what to do. Like I just said, it just never batted an eye, and we cranked the cardio up. And because I'm from the 2-hour cardio days,
Yeah.
So high cardio doesn't, I'm not of the low cardio phase. That it's kind of past that now, but there was a while where everyone was not doing cardio. I'm of the old days of you work for it, and we worked them, and so. Yeah, no, I never made him watch anything. I hoped he watched, but he, like all of us, he's a fan of the sport. He watches everything.
Oh, yeah.
That's the coolest thing is, we've all been in prep watching Jay Cutler shop for 3 hours, or
eat a giant bowl of oatmeal.
Yeah,
for 20
over and over.
minutes,
Yeah. So we've all been there, and he's no different.
One of the things that I never agreed with, and I never believed in, was, when he did go overseas. And obviously not a knock on guys that feel that they're better for doing that. But I always just thought, man, I just feel like I'd be so much better at home with my dog and my family and my,
Relax.
you know what I mean? I just never really got the
Poop in your own house.
Yeah, like I my own kitchen, and I just never really got that desire to do that. And so when I heard he was working with you and staying home, I was really hoping that he'd be awesome and improve his condition and all that stuff, and as sort of a statement like, hey, like it's about you and your communication with your coach, not where you are.
Exactly. And everyone thinks, and I won't say what they do at different places or different people do, but everyone thinks there's some magic somewhere, but there isn't. There isn't. One of the benefits when you go a place like that, there's no distractions, there's no women, if your food might be cooked for you, people might be loading your weights for you, so the ease is there. But I think there's also a mix, like the old Rocky movies always centered around that, Apollo's got the whole system around him, and convenience is great, but there's something about the work, and it's definitely more difficult at home. You have the distractions, you have family, you got to cook your own food, you got to rack your own weights, you got to drive yourself to the gym or whatever, and there's female distractions, you got a wife that you love at home. So, but I think there's goods and bads with both. It's obviously easier when those things are taken care of for you, but I think anyone who's done the sport, you're least productive outside of the gym when you're in the off season. When you should be the least productive is in prep, when you're doing cardio and prepping food and training, but that's typically when you get the most other things done also. It's like once I always use the analogy, if I'm just sitting around the house and I have to run to the store, it's like a chore. Yeah. But if I got to stop by the bank on the way home from work, it's no big deal. Because once you're moving, you're moving. And so, we never had any issue. As far as I know, he never missed a cardio session, never missed a meal, never missed anything. So he got it done.
I always factored unloading my own leg press into my cardio.
Oh yeah.
So, that was
funny as you get older. I rarely leg press anymore. And it's for the same reason that I used to love leg press when I started. You love it when you start because you can put the most weights on. I don't like it now because I got to put the most weights on.
Right. Yeah, you get that extra exercise doing that. But for the people watching, I really like to try to bring them a little snapshot of reality. So you got Brandon Curry. He starts his prep. How heavy was he? Was he 270?
260, low 260s.
And he's a Mr. Olympia, Arnold Classic champ, all that stuff, as good as it gets. How high were the carbs when you started, and how low did they get when you were pushing them? I know people think they do low carbs or whatever. There's all this stuff going, all these rules you're supposed to follow now, right? All these formulas people use. But how low did you go with a guy like that?
0.
Okay.
Not really. We went vegetable only on non-training days for a short period of time. But what we did was we ground him down hard. And so by 5 weeks out, on his low carb days, lowest days when he wasn't training, it was vegetable only. And I capped him at 10 grams of carbs from vegetables even. So he had a cup and a half of broccoli. It was at max. And I think at one point because I only use lean meats, and so we add fats for the fat content.
Yeah.
And I want to say at one point we might have been under 10 or 12 grams total fat for the meal, like 7 grams of added fat on top of like your tilapia.
So what would you add, like avocado and nut butter or
Yeah,
whatever?
avocado. I like nut butter. The reason I don't like it is because it tastes so good.
Yeah, people lose their minds.
There's nothing harder to do, and cardio is easy, training's easy, dieting's easy. Leveling off a tablespoon of peanut butter is not easy.
Or weighing out 15 grams
Yeah,
and seeing how small it looks.
Oh yeah, well you learn what a serving size really is when you're in prep.
Yeah. When you say you only use lean meats, are you still using like a really lean cut, like flank steak and stuff, or are you?
We did not even use much red meat. We did chicken tenderloin, chicken breast, turkey breast, 96.4 ground beef, 95.5 ground beef. We did a little bit of flank steak. But it was, his calories were low for a period. But we did that on purpose because we really reached, we bottomed them out about 5, maybe 4 weeks out, and then we started feeding him into the show. So his carbs were higher at 2 weeks out than they were 3 weeks out, which is higher than they were 5 and 6 weeks out.
How many grams of fat was he at his highest when you had him on the no carbs? You said 7 per meal added fat?
So like 70 grams probably for the day.
For the day.
Yeah. And this wasn't like the diet. This was like 10, 14 days of so the diet, as a graph, his diet kind of went like this, you know.
Yeah. And you're doing what, 10 ounces of turkey at a meal? 8 ounces, 6 ounces?
7.
7.
Okay.
We worked.
Man, you're bikini.
You know what I thought?
That's the 212 diet right there.
This is his total weekly calories when you take into account. He was up over 1,000 grams of carbs some days. Once a week, every week, we would do a very high carb day with like 150 grams of carbs per meal for 5 meals with a cheat meal. So it was in a diet of extremes. It was bottoming him out, bring him back to life. Bottom him out, bring him, and we continued that, like I said, until about a little more than a month out, and then it leveled out more. Then all the days were a little more even. I think his medium days, like his training days, were like maybe 300 to 400 grams of carbs back by 3 or 4 weeks, by 2 or 3 weeks out. But they got under 200 grams of carbs also for about a week or two.
Now, I know that Brandon, when he spoke to us, he told us what a fan he was of high volume training and what he was doing over there, overseas, lots of volume. Did you step into that realm and adjust any of that for him, or?
Well, you can watch him do 200-pound dumbbell rows at 3 weeks out to get an idea of what we did.
Right. So you did make some adjustments.
Yeah, I let him handle his training, but he knows what I like. It's not nothing is exact and one-to-one and singular in the sport. There's value in volume. We think it's the load on the we always act like we know what causes muscle growth. We really don't. As far as just as a general rule, what I know works is if you take a person today and they're eating 3,000 calories and training this heavy, if a year from now they're eating 5,000 calories at the same body fat and training twice as heavy, maybe it's not the most efficient approach, but there's no chance he's not carrying more muscle.
Right. Zero chance.
Yeah.
What about that cardio? You said you came from the world of 2-hour cardios. We're all familiar with that. Was there 2 hours cardio?
Not quite,
Okay.
but kind of, because we did 60 minutes of steady state.
Yeah.
And then at a point we were doing an additional 20 minutes of what I call bodybuilding hit, which is not true hit. We're not like 15 seconds full out, but I make you do a minute hard, a minute light.
Yeah.
Where that minute hard is kind of self-directed, meaning you push as hard as you can in that minute, knowing that you only get another minute. So your first hard minute might be higher than your last hard minute, but really those 20 minutes, your calorie burn is about the same as 30 minutes. Really, it's 12 minutes of that. We try to time it list it out. So 12 minutes of that is the same calories as 20 minutes of list.
Yeah.
So that way he was 90 minutes is what he peaked out at.
Okay, that's a good cardio.
That's an
On
interesting
zero
formula.
carbs.
Yeah, on zero carbs. Yeah. And tell us about Brandon's mindset generally. Is there something about when you said he never complained and all that, but was there ever a time when he said anything to you that you thought, well, this sets this guy apart from everyone else I've worked with, or was it he's just better and
just zero complaining. Zero. It's like, and I think I mentioned one time, like I need to word some things to verify that he's actually, because you don't work that hard without saying something,
Yeah.
And so, but I talked to him, and he kind of I don't know the exact word, but it was like, yeah, coach, it's hard. I've never gone that low. I've never gone that hard. It was something he said. I was like, okay, he's hurting. He knows what needs to be done, and I think he's got something to prove himself. He wants to show everyone. It's not overseas. It's me, And the reason he's over there is because he's a professional. He'll do whatever it takes to be the best. He was Mr. Olympia. It's not like sometimes these guys maybe get a reputation because of their genetics that they might not be hard workers. But like I said, you can see him 3 weeks out, and you know what he was doing for cardio and his diet, and you can watch him do one-arm rows with 200 pounds 3 weeks out. By that point, his food was back up. But he worked hard, and like I said, at one point he never questioned anything, which I don't even mind if people question, because I always say, if I don't know why I'm doing it, you shouldn't be doing it. I like that trust the process thing. I hate that term. Don't trust the process. If I can't explain the process, why would you trust it? So, but he never did. So I would I would explain it, which must have been enough for him. But yeah, I got the feeling that he was like, I think people maybe think I'm older, maybe think I should have stayed overseas. I'm going to show them that that's not the case.
I like that.
What do you think of the lineup in general? Is this possibly one of the greatest Arnold lineups we've ever seen?
Oh yeah, he hired me for an easy Arnold. He got you the one that Derek and Sampson's in.
We can't do the Chicago Pro or something like that?
No, come on. So this is like the old days, back when guys actually used to do the Arnold and the Olympia, because it got to a point where top 5 of the Olympia was sending out everything else, so to see the top guys, so this is, if you win this, you're the best bodybuilder in the world, just like when you win the Olympia, which is what, there's got to be kind of one pinnacle of the sport. But I really there was a short period of time, like in the early 2000s, where only Ronnie would set out the Arnold, and then even he did the Arnold. That was a fun time, because you had twice a year, almost, every 6 months, where you had who is the best bodybuilder on earth. And for a long time, we had one time a year. So I like that aspect. Me personally, I wouldn't mind because I feel like, if it was the old way, I'd be like, we're going in, it's lights out. I still think we can pull it off. I think we're going to shock some people. And I know we're not supposed to talk because it's airing after it happened, but I think I'm excited.
Yeah, we're very. You got something, Scott? You were gonna go?
No,
I didn't want to interrupt you,
man. I want to see him back at his all-time best.
Same. I think he is. I think he is.
At that point, really, I just want to see him at his best.
Is there something that, with all the new, the whole, everyone's having the whole science-based, debates and stuff, what would be something that you've changed your mind on in the last few years?
Oh, that's a good one.
That you have brought into your training with clients and stuff that you think holds a lot of value, and then what's something that you think has been confirmed that we were already doing that maybe people used to shun, but now it's been confirmed? Can you think of anything like that?
It might be the same thing, maybe. What I've never gone away. Like I said, if we get you eating more food and you're stronger and you're not fatter, you have to be more muscular. What I have refined is, I'm still a progressive overload guy, but I've really moved more from, rather than getting stronger on the movement, like getting stronger on squats, getting stronger on bench, getting stronger on bent over rows is great, because it guarantees that your chest is stronger, which will be bigger, your quads are stronger. But I've focused that more on, I don't care so much that you're moving more weight through space. I want to guarantee that it's the correct muscle move. So it's more, I'm still a strength guy, a progressive overload, but really not at all at the expense of anything with, I don't want the strength to come from biomechanical advantage. So, and I incorporate, I call it like sarcoplasmic sets, where I do more volume that I didn't used to do. And I used to even call it junk volume, which I don't anymore. Volume directly, just to kind of get some sarcoplasmic benefit, because only 30% of the muscle tissue is actual contractile tissue. So what is that other 70%, and how much can we affect it? I don't know it exactly, but I know that it exists. So I do incorporate more volume specifically to bring blood and nutrients, hoping to increase, the amount of fluid you hold in the muscle, glycogen, blood vessel size, yada yada.
Sarcoplasmic volume.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about you. Let's talk about you. You were, a 6 plate for 10 squatter, weren't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, about 6 plate for 10, and then you'd follow it up with 405 for 20, and that sort of sick shit. And there's not a lot of guys that can do that, period, even great bodybuilders. When we see great bodybuilders that can't come anywhere near that stuff, where do you think that came from? Do you think you're genetically that type of guy, or was it just
stupidity?
Yeah, is it just that you had that
Dusty
extra
knows.
level of
Dusty
insanity?
knows.
Well, I didn't start as a bodybuilder. I started bodybuilding when I was 22, like training as a body. But I started lifting when I was 14. So that that's 8 years in before I cared about how my muscles looked. So it was really I trained for football and powerlifting, and then I wanted to look like a bodybuilder, and so that's where it came from. And then also, when I got out of the sport, my wife said something like, I said, like, I don't know what I'm going to do with training, how I'm going to find a passion. She's like, well, now you do it to be healthy. And I was like, I don't want to train to be healthy.
What's the dumbest thing I've ever heard?
Exactly. What are you even talking about? There's something about, and I don't think you can get that. It's hard to get that in any other sport. It's like getting under 600 pounds on squat, you can die. I mean, a girl just did. And there's something about that. If you grew up playing sports, you don't get that as an adult. If I play pickup basketball, it's not the same. I played football. There's no, you don't put on pads as an adult. And so there's something about, there's still no better feeling than hitting the bottom of a hole in a squat. It feels like, your hips are like kind of spreading out, like they're going to like separate from the joint. And then you contract every muscle in your body. And there's just, if you're not in the sport, you don't know that feeling, you don't know it. But it's like maybe I get a bigger dopamine rush from that than other people, and I probably do, but there is no bigger dopamine rush for me.
Right.
I know that feeling. I know that feeling well. We all do, I think.
I barely remember it, but I'm happy I did it. Right, Dusty?
Exactly.
Well, you're still doing stupid stuff, though, Dusty.
Yeah, stupid relative.
Relative stupid. You're still putting 5 plates on bars for certain things and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Now let me limp over here and
Right.
waddle.
Between sets doesn't look quite as good, but once I'm in position, we're good.
Yeah. Now, what about people who want to contact you for coaching? How do they get a hold of Justin Harris? And are you full?
Don't DM him.
Don't DM him on Instagram.
He won't answer, not even if you're Mr. Olympia.
You can email me at booboo-tittyfuck69 at hotmail.
That's your high school email. You're still using your high school email, Justin.
I used to say just Google Justin Harris, but some asshole named Justin Harris killed his whole family. So.
That's a different Justin, guys.
It wasn't me.
Was he a weightlifter too? That would just be the best if he's like a state level power lifter or something like that.
Just another fat white guy. Look just like me. I swear. You could, go to Troponin Nutrition or TroponinSupplements.com. But you can still, if you Google Justin Harris Nutrition or Justin Harris Bodybuilding. And no, I'm not. I mean, I'm not full. I'm always pretty full. But there's a turnover. There's always new shows where a client will drop off and you have space. So pretty much as a coach, every weekend from basically March through November, you're more than likely to have a spot open up.
Right on.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks, man. I know it's a busy expo, and you probably got to go check Brandon's latest check-in. So I know it's TikTok. You said something about feeding him some food today, and
yeah, we're eating right now. Yeah,
we're
I mean, it's the show's in a couple hours, so there's not much we can do. But yeah, we're still feeding them, and man, the top guys are so fun because.
You're eating big right now,
Oh
aren't
yeah, I don't want to say because no, we're eating big. Yeah, he's ordering the food right now.
You don't want to say what he's eating because then every other person's going to bug their coach for the same thing.
Right.
He's slicing his own zucchini right now.
Right, exactly.
No, the food he's eating right now had to be ordered from Grubhub.
Here's one last question because I get this one so much. How much water is he drinking today?
I believe we're at we're meal by meal, but on average it's about 9 ounces per meal. And
Right.
yeah, same as yesterday was 10 ounces, but we were 8 liters up until that.
You remember the days of no water?
I remember.
And then how everyone was like, how come I'm so flat?
Yeah, and no sodium.
Yeah.
No water, no sodium. I'm not filling out.
I'm amazed I looked good at any of those shows that I did.
Yeah, the first couple shows, like, if you do a checkpoint of everything you shouldn't do, it's like, check that, nailed it.
I did a show with all that shit and won the show. And I think if I did all that at any other show, I would have looked.
Oh man, if I could go back, same. Yeah, all my competitive years were doing all the, the science of peaking is so much more advanced.
Yeah.
No one knew what we were doing. There weren't coaches, and people might not like coaches, but the one thing that's really benefited is it's really refined. Rather than having a million people trying a million different things, you have 100 people trying 100 different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just really
Yeah.
refined it, and you see it a lot because 20 years ago you used to see a wide range of peaking process.
The crazy diuretics.
Oh, I remember seeing
stacking diuretics.
starting 2 weeks out. I remember seeing a Tuesday, no water, no food.
Oh, from Tuesday.
Yeah, and then loading water and food after. It's like,
Oh, God.
Or I remember someone not brushing their teeth for some.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
that's
that's
a
still the toothpaste thing
I
still
don't think so.
exists. It's
No,
nuts.
I think just in our memories.
It's nuts.
But I did specifically talk to people who,
Yes.
coach, I'm gonna brush my teeth, sodium fluoride. I'm like,
I haven't brushed my teeth for the last week just so I could look dry at the expo.
I'm bone dry. I'm so dry.
why I
No one will
put
get
him over
within 10
there.
feet of me.
Oh man, well thanks Justin. I remember you from the 1999 2000 message board era.
Rep 300.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Rep 300 Troponin. You remember seeing huge 285 Palumbo on the boards, and
What were you, Dusty? You were.
I just used my name because I was smarter than all you guys. I was like, this is called marketing, people.
right. Dusty wasn't afraid of everything, but yeah, we made it out of the Wild West alive.
I
Justin.
missed those days, though. That was a fun time.
Yeah. It was just a bunch of cowboys on the boards throwing about let's try this.
We worked out all the trial and error of all the stupid stuff.
Yeah.
All the social media guys have the benefit of us doing every dumb thing possible for the public to see.
I think those boards, I'm glad a lot of them have been wiped off and you can't even access them anymore.
There was a point where I every once in a while I would remember something really stupid I said. I'm like, that's somewhere out there. I hope no one ever sees it.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks, man. Thanks for joining us on It's Just Bodybuilding. We'll let you get back to the coaching deal. What's up?
And one more thing, I'm excited to see what you do with Skip this year.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know if he was talking about it because we're
He hasn't talked about the show.
Well,
He's talking about the
I don't want to
process.
say I'm coaching him. We're working together.
Yeah.
And we've talked for a while before it. And I think he was hesitant because it's hard as a coach to just to just completely offload everything. So I was like, we don't have to do. We both know what we're doing.
Right.
And as it turns out, we both do pretty. The people who know what they're doing, we all do about the same things, which is why it works. Because if you do something different, you're not going to last as a coach. So if someone's been around 25 years, there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Troponin, Justin Harris, everybody. Thank you. Thanks for your
having
time,
me.
man.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, get back to dieting Mr. Olympias.
Deal.
Okay. Oh, we need a picture.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Okay, and I gave you the angle a little bit the whole time too. A little bit. Yeah. That's good. Okay.
I should
Appreciate you.
I should have used this camera the whole time. Just sat like this.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. Yeah.
Justin Harris. He's got places to go. Mr. Olympias to prep. Good luck tonight, buddy.
All
Hey.
right. That was cool.
Now I feel like I should half and half on this
Yeah,
chair.
you got a little space now.
There we
Little
go.
space.
You got
There
we
we
can
go.
spread out.
Spread out. I got a crotch shot here I got to be careful of. So before we wrap, I just want to say that this is Friday morning has been a massive step up from last year. I know we were
Three
sort of
steps up.
3 steps up.
Yeah.
I know
We're on a
we've been
platform.
sort of waiting for the full recovery of the pandemic that how our expos got affected
Yeah.
so badly there for a year or two, and And we kept saying how, oh, it seems really back, like 2023. Oh, we're back, but it wasn't quite back. And then last year we were even like, oh, it's pretty busy, but Friday morning was still quiet. This year is like, Dusty and I walked in, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I was sweating when we got to the booth, which is a good sign that there's too many people in here.
Yeah. So everyone that's come by the booth to say hi, everyone that wanted a picture, we really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I couldn't stay away.
Look at that! I got some booth shots, booth footage here.
Oh, awesome!
This is what it looks like happening out here right now.
Okay.
The reason it's a little dead is they just had, which I was watching during.
They just had Classic.
Classic on stage, and
Classic was going on. I looked
for
over.
the record, since you guys don't know, the last call out was Mike and Logan.
Oh, was it?
Mike and Logan. Well, anyone who saw Logan Franklin's back double by video this morning knows why that happened. The glutes were insane. Did you see that video?
great.
We
I
talked
did.
about it this week. I was like, that's the dark horse.
And now, who did Logan work with this year?
He's been working with
Was it Patrick?
Patrick the whole time.
Yeah. Okay. Good job on him.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We love making these shows at the booth. Maybe someday we'll be able to go live.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Cool. But hey, this works.
Oh yeah, this works great.
Works, and I'm just glad that it works.
Yeah.
Literally, like physically works. We're here. We're doing it.
You guys don't know he was dealing with some tech issues for about an hour too long, so we're all
There's
good.
always that
We
stuff.
weren't.
Yeah.
You know, and hey, thank you to Mutant for having us, but having me, as part of all this, man. This is freaking cool. And,
Well, you got people waiting for photos with you now.
I know. It's
really
pretty
awesome.
It's
So-
awesome, man. I
Okay, remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, and
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell. And I want to send a special thanks out to VJ.
Oh, yeah. Thanks,
VJ.
Beach.
Got to get a crowd shot of VJ.
We got Beach out there.
Beach.
Beach.
Oh, here we
yeah.
go. Thanks to
Bring
Beach.
that up.
He's been helping us out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see that front
Let's
double.
see that
again.
front double. Let's see the front double. There we go. Nice. Yeah, thanks to Beach for his help. We love having him hanging around. Okay, everybody, remember, it's just bodybuilding.